What is happening, Carib Boys and girls? This is your boy Carib Boy with another Pokemon TCG video. And what we talking about today? Well, it's about time that we address Paldea Evolved and Carib Boys, as usual, top 10 lists. And today, we want to talk about my top 10 lists of cards from Paldea Evolves that I want to play. Yes, there are a lot of cards in this set that I want to play. I want to try my hand with some, and there are some that I really want to make decks out of. Some I even have builds for already. So let me get right into it. All right. So coming in at number 10, oh my word, is the Copper Raja EX, standing tall with a 300 HP metal Pokemon. I think this is so far the highest HP stage 1 EX that we have. And what about this Copper Raja that I like so much? Well, you see that bronze body ability, it taking less damage from attacks, and I feel that there might be a nice tank deck waiting to build for this. I haven't tried it out yet, but I'm very curious to see how it will play as a tank deck. All right, so good. Copper Raja EX number 10. Moving on to number 9, we have the Paldean Clodsire EX. And what about the Paldean Clodsire EX that I like? Well, I like sometimes to play a technical kind of deck. And this Clodsire playing with the ability of poisoning with the toxic wetland. Once during your turn, if a stadium is in play, you may make your opponent's active Pokemon poison. And the attack, not so hot up, only 200 damage for 3 energy. Flip a coin if tails. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. Well, the thing about this is the poisoning ability I want to play with and see how this Paldean Clodsire EX would play. I'm just curious. I don't have a build for it as yet, but it looking like something that would play very nice. Moving right along to number 8, we have the first trainer card, and this card is the Bravery Charm. Well, we had a card that used to boost. We have plenty of cards that just boost HP. Well, this boosting basic Pokemon HP by 50. And you will see another card coming up in this lineup that are going to play directly with this card, with Bravery Charm. But the Bravery Charm won't only play with that card. I have a feeling it could play around a lot of Pokemon that will come or already exist. So I think the Bravery Charm would be a good addition to play with and see how it works. Bravery Charm in number 8. Moving right along, we have coming in number 7, we have an archetype, not necessarily a single card, and that is the trio in this set of Wattrel, Murkrow, and Flamigo. And what do they have in common? They have the United Wings. Yes, man. The Mad Party and them come back with where they have an attack called United Wings, and this attack does 20 damage multiplied by the amount of Pokemon in your discard pile with that same attack. So if you're accustomed with this type of deck, you need to fill your discard pile with the Pokemon, and you're going to use the attack United Wings to hit hit damage while you build it up. So you're using things like Professor's Research and anything like Ultra Ball to get your Pokemon in the discard pile. And Flamigo come with a nice ability where you bring 3 other Flamigo to your hand. So you know how you're doing. You're looking to bring them to the hand to fling them. That's the whole idea behind this Flamigo card. So United Wings, looking forward to see how that plays. Coming in at number 6, we have something of a tech card. We have the Mimikyu, a basic Pokemon. And what we're playing it for is the ability Safeguard. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX and Pokemon V. So this here is a kind of hothead kind of card here. You're looking to stall with this. And I have a certain type of play style that I like to tap into every now and then. If you recall the Durant, and my success with it is a milling deck. these type of cards that stall attacks sometimes come in handy with that approach to the game. So I'm looking forward to see how this Mimikyu could be used. So I have my eye on it. Coming at number 5, we have a card that is probably making me very angry, but it will be very useful. And this is the Spirit Tomb with the ability Fettered in Misfortune. Basic Pokemon V in play have no abilities. Well, you know your boy Carib Boy love his Mew VMAX. And the engine of the Mew VMAX is the Genesect V, which is a basic Pokemon V. And you know the Spirit Tomb shutting it down. So aside from looking at ways to counter it and how to battle it, I also want to get some copies of this and see how it is I could utilize this in my playing as well. Moving on to number 4, we have, coming back to my one of my favorite ways to play, we have the Chi-Yu EX with, and the two attacks are very interesting to me. The Jealously Singe. Discard the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. Well, hey, you know, I just talk about stalling and milling and thing, referring to Durant that I played before. So I'm looking at ways of how this Chi-Yu EX could play in a mill style deck. But the next attack, not so bad either. For 2 fire energy, Flame Surge, 100 damage. Choose up to 3 of your bench Pokemon. For each of those Pokemon, search your deck for a basic fire energy card and attach it to that Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. Listen, all you know, I like my boy Arcanine. And Arcanine have some builds here that are trying to test out, and Chi-Yu looking like a nice addition that to a fire deck, to any fire deck. So let me see how this Chi-Yu might play. I am curious to see how it will play, and I'm looking into it. Now the remaining cards in this top 10 are cards that I am definitely looking to either build decks in or use in my playing of the game. So no more looking to see how it go play and them kind of thing. So let we go. The top 3, in position number 3, we have not 1 card, but 2 cards that work very lovely together. And that is the Chien-Pao EX and the Baxcalibur. Oh my goodness, they're calling this the Rain Dance deck. Chien-Pao has the ability where it could search, once it's in the active spot, it will search your deck for 2 basic water energy, reveal them, and put it in your hand. And then while you're shuffling the deck. And guess what Baxcalibur doing? As often as you like during your turn, you may attach a basic water energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. So they're working in tandem with each other. And you have the Chien-Pao EX with the attack for 2 water energy, Hail Blade. And this does 60 times the amount of water energy you discard from your Pokemon in any way. So yes, looking to spread those water energy across your Pokemon, or even load up your Chien-Pao with it. You don't have to put it all over the board. And then you Lego some big attacks. So that's why they call it a Rain Dance. You rain the water energy, and then you Lego damage. Yeah, Chien-Pao already making a name for itself. So let me see how this Chien-Pao could advance in the meta as we move forward with the game. Coming in at number 2 is a card that I did not initially have so high up in this list. But let me tell you, I fight an opponent, my own cousin. And listen, this deck deal with me so dread that it inspire me to pursue and build the deck. And that features the new card in Paldea Evolve called Ting-Lu EX. And what Ting-Lu doing? Ting-Lu have the ability Cursed Land. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent's Pokemon in play that have any damage counters on them have no abilities except for Pokemon EX. So once it's not a Pokemon EX, you're shutting down. We're calling this the shutdown deck. And listen, that kind of power in playing is very addictive. The attack, it does 150 damage for 3 fighting energy, and you also get to put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So you're spreading a little damage counters too, and then it have cards to support it. And I already creating a deck with the Tinglu. So yes, man. Now, what card could beat these two archetypes that I want to play? And if you haven't figured it out yet, it should be very easy that the number one card is an agreed number one across the player base, I would say. And that is, no doubt, Iono. Iono brings back the ability to disrupt your opponent by not just sending back their cards and reducing their hand, but it puts it at the bottom of the deck. So there was an old card that, well, I joined the Pokemon TCG late, so I learned about a card called N that used to be referred to as a big comeback card. Well, Iono combines N and Mani with the placing the cards at the bottom of the deck. And what Iono does, each player shuffles their hand and puts it at the bottom of the deck. If either player put any cards at the bottom of their deck in this way, each player draws card for each remaining prize cards. So imagine your opponent take a big knockout and down to 2 prize card, and you behind, you have 4. How you going to come back? Well, you hit him Iono and you reduce his hand to only 2 cards. It is an amazing card, already finding its way as a staple in many decks, if not all decks, the same way Mani and N found their way in the meta of the Pokemon TCG. Alright, so that rounds up my top 10 cards that I want to play. I tell me what you think about my list. Tell me in the comments what cards you want to play. If your cards that you want to play in my list, share that with me. If there are cards in your top 10 that you want to play real bad and not here, share that with me too. All you know what to do. If you like what you're seeing, beat up that like button, bust a subscription. This is your boy Carib Boy, out again.